Do you want to be emotionless? You cannot. That would be like dying and coming back as a zombie. The reason someone might ask this question is that they are emotionally not in control of themselves. As a result, some emotions make them feel captive to certain situations, people, or relationships, and it happens often. You can get stuck in a pattern because of certain emotions. It could be the same job, the same relationship dynamics, the same friendships, the same hurt, or the same pain. And none of these things benefit you in a way you would call progress. What do you need to do? Evaluate and break down the problem. You need to sit down and really evaluate what it is that you do or are doing that gets you into trouble, for which you blame certain emotions. Reflect on what happens and where you make mistakes. If there's a person involved, consider how they take advantage of you. Identify the moment in the conversation when you go from being strong, confident, and sure of yourself to confused, weak, and gullible. Walk through the moments in your mind. I was fine until this part of the conversation, until they said this. Whatever they said becomes the trigger to your vulnerability, causing you to lose control. That's the point you need to find. Another example could be, I was feeling great, focused, and happy, and then this happened. Whatever changed your mood for the worse, you need to identify it. Acknowledge what you find. Whatever you discover should not be ignored or pushed aside. If these things are affecting you on a daily, semi-daily, or weekly basis, they are real and must be taken care of. If you find something serious like abuse, manipulation, emotional addiction, or someone taking advantage of your sexual vulnerabilities, deal with it immediately. Break away from these people if there is a pattern of emotional manipulation or if they exploit your vulnerabilities. Cutting people off is part of growing up, and it will empower your decision-making. Recognize your emotional vulnerabilities. Identify your emotional weaknesses and recognize them in short sentences. For example, if you trust people too easily and they often turn out to be someone else, you are a poor judge of character. Say this to yourself every time you meet someone new. I'm not going to judge them right away. I will reserve judgment until I have enough data. Don't fall for superficial things like good looks, money, or success. Tell yourself, I don't know this person yet. If you constantly want to impress people, it's a dominant instinct that makes you feel bad when you fail. You may even start forming high opinions of them to justify your need to impress them. You might attract jerks because of your neediness and desire to be liked. Acknowledge that this behavior stems from a lack of love or approval growing up or receiving too much of it. Therapy can help. Understand that there will always be more people to impress, but that pursuit will never end. Instead, give yourself approval by setting goals and achieving them. Simplify your emotional strands into clear narratives: needy, bad judge of character, overcaring, savior complex, or fixer complex. Conclusion: with these 3 steps, you can at least become aware of your weaknesses and vulnerabilities. These are the very things clever people will use to manipulate you. They can also lead to self-harm, reduce self-esteem, and bad moods, spoiling your overall well-being.